Hi, Rue. It's really lovely to see you today. Thank you so much for joining me for this recording. I wonder if you could possibly introduce yourself and tell us about your role and where you work.
So lovely to be here, Emma. Thank you so much for asking me. So, I'm a GP and GP trainer in Battersea, and I work as an associate dean for NHS England, which is in the professional development team. And I'm mainly based in the faculty development part of the professional development team.
Great, thank you. And today we're going to talk about your route into becoming an educator. I wonder if you could tell me how you ended up in the role of educator.
I suppose it started with me doing a PG cert, which back in the day was compulsory if you wanted to be a GP trainer. And it really struck me how different the style of teaching was than anything I'd come across before. Our tutor, lovely, lovely man called Arnold Desser, he used what I recognize now as being Socratic questioning. So he'd always get the answer from us as a group, and he'd very rarely answer anything directly, but he was so wise, and it was clear that the conversations that we were having was so much more interesting than if he had just told us the answer. And I think that really struck me. And then a few years later, so this was probably around 2013, perhaps, there was a vacancy advertised as a Pan-London programme director for assessment. And I applied and was lucky and got it. Um, I'd been a GP trainer for a few years, 3 years or so by that point. And then a vacancy came up to facilitate on this same PG Cert course. And so I think I was in the right place at the right time. I joined this very inspirational group of colleagues. And I think everything else kind of came from that as a start.
Oh, that sounds like a wonderful journey. Can you tell me what do you enjoy about being an educator? What kind of thrills you on a day-to-day basis?
I mean, it is so lovely. I think on a one-to-one level, just to watch someone grow, to be able to facilitate a kind of learning environment where they can grow and become who they want to become. So this is now I'm kind of talking about within the practice, and it's definitely not just me. You know, that whole thing about it takes a village, but I think it makes the practice a better place. The fact that we have got learners, because we've really got to think about things like, is this an inclusive environment? How are we talking to one another? Are we meeting enough? Are we supporting each other? Because without that, of course, the learner's not going to flourish, however amazing one individual is, you know. And on a kind of on the level of group teaching, I love facilitating conversations and perhaps getting people to see things differently, like maybe step back and think about kind of the bigger picture, like maybe some philosophical discussions as well. I really enjoy that part of my work.
Oh, fantastic. And I'm just thinking about the differences between your educator role and your clinical role. How do those two roles compare and contrast?
I mean, I suppose there are similarities between a good GP consultation and a good um, kind of educational conversation, in the sense that you're stepping back from, this is not all about me. I've got to kind of think about the person who is in front of me, what matters to them, the context that they're in, the challenges that they might be facing. And then it's this balance of care and challenge. So I think of course, you want to hold people and to be supportive and compassionate, but you don't want to collude. So I think in the same way that you don't want to collude with a patient necessarily because it's not in their best interests, I think the same goes with a learner as well. So I think having those kind of conversations where they can change their own story potentially, just with some kind of questions that are pertinent, I think is really rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of my last question, how do you develop you?
Um, I think, for me personally, so when I joined, it was at the time it was Health Education England, and this was as a program director, I mean, and it had only recently transitioned from being the deanery. And there was still a really strong educational culture there. So I was really fortunate to meet colleagues like John Lorna, Sanjeev Aliwalia, Bob Clark, who have been absolutely kind of an inspiration for me. And what happened was I started to write with them. So I remember John Lorna, who is very well known for his work on narrative medicine. He took a complete punt on writing an article with me, which we got accepted into the Lancet in the end. And that was the start of something. So I think from that time on, I have done a lot of writing around, within medical education. And that's a way for me to, when you say, how do you develop you? It's that kind of element of thinking about things, standing back, kind of considering the evidence, thinking about what other people have to say about it. So other really good fora for me, I'm a member of the RCGP Ethics Committee. So I think some of the conversations we have in that group really challenge me and kind of shake me out of my own particular echo chamber. So I think, what I would advise, like, this is just the context for me. So it'll be different, of course, for everybody, but finding a group of like-minded, or not necessarily like-minded, but colleagues who want to think about things and having those conversations. Not everyone likes writing, but I think talking things through is really, really useful in terms of development. A kind of little plug, I suppose, for the RCGP overdiagnosis group. I'm a member of that, and again, it's basically an email group, but some of the threads are so interesting.
Oh, thank you. Ru, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. I really
Complete pleasure.
appreciate it. It's always lovely to see you.
It's so lovely to see you, Emma.
And we'll no doubt talk again soon. Thank
I
you.
hope so. Take care.
Take care.